Peace, love, and light. This is your girl, Queen Kenya, coming to you live. I am going to be sharing an excerpt from my book today. It's my book, Queen Kenya's A Tale of Shorts. The book is called Journeys. So, since everybody's doing their thing live nowadays with social distancing and everything that's going on, sharing their gifts and talents online, I figured, hey, it would be a good idea for me to read from my book. There's no better way to get an insight on the character and the character's disposition, personality, perhaps sound of voice or what have you. No better place than to get that from the author, right? So I am going to be sharing with you from one of my featured stories in my short tale compilation, The Journeys. It's not The Journeys, it's just called Journeys. But the story that I'm going to be sharing, the main character's name is Miko, and the first introduction is going to be like the very beginning of this story. So I'm going to let you see it. I have great visuals and stuff for my books. It's kind of weird to show this, but yeah. So we're actually going to start with Miko Lawrence. That's her name. And the beginning of it is called The Tribe. I am really literally going to read her first introduction so you can have an idea about her as a character and who she is. And then for the grown and sexy folks, I'm going to read a hot and steamy excerpt. Maybe on my IG channel, not on Facebook. Yeah, but just a little bit to share with you, to let you know, and I might share it on my YouTube channel too. I don't know. But anyways, this is what we're doing here. So if you float through right now, you are getting a reading from Queen Kenya's short tale stories. This particular introduction is from the featured story, which is the very first short story in my book, and it's called The Tribe. It begins with the first title, Miko Lawrence, Journeying. This is Miko you will hear talking. I have never been one to only want to be with one man. I mean, who does, honestly? It's not natural. As long as I can remember, my interest in relationships with human beings has encompassed the idea of multiple partners. When I was a young adult in my 20s, I had a suitor for almost every day of the week. Each one served his purpose. Now that I've grown into myself and become more secure in my being and my sexuality, I realize that it's highly unnatural to be monogamous. For me, that is. It is an idea that has been taught to many and imposed upon us by the world system. Well, today, I no longer embrace the ways of the world. I have decided to live a free life, no more restraints or dictation. Many look at the woman who embraces her ability to love and be loved by more than one being romantically as a sign of whoredom. Darling, I am not a whore. I have tapped into my feminine energy and I've learned to balance it with my masculine energy. I am the yin and the yang. I am not afraid to love and be loved. I connect with all kinds of beings that vibrate on the same frequency as me. However, I have yet to settle in a tribe. On this journey of soul searching and love seeking, I know I will eventually find my tribe. Until then, I flow with the universe and manifest greatness so no one and nothing can kill my vibe. Did I tell you that I like women too? Oh yeah, that part. For so long, women have been shamed for adoring one another and embracing the embodiment of femininity. After some constant soul searching, meditation, prayer, and many spiritual baths, I have learned to live without judgment towards myself or others. I am a free spirit. No religion, nor government, or organization will bind me. So that's why this journey has begun. I'm taking a trip, traveling around the world to find my tribe. Wherever spirit leads me, I will go. I just turned 30 and I have finally saved up enough money to travel for 6 consecutive months. I don't have any kids and I'm not looking to marry ever. I want to be as free as a bird. My parents think I'm crazy, of course. They're from the old school and predicted I would be married and started having kids by now. Well, that's their desires impressed upon me, not what I desire for myself. So I begin my journey to the beautiful country of Aruba. I'm staying for 2 weeks, then I'll be off to Jamaica, and then Honduras will soon follow. I bet you're wondering if I'm traveling alone. I am. There's no better way to find yourself and a more significant part of you other than separating yourself from the crowds. Besides, most of those who were once called friends have shown their true colors, and I now know they were wolves in sheep's clothing. Except for my best friend Nadia. She's one of a kind. She will be joining me next month when I land in Honduras. So here's to all the great adventures that lie ahead. Journey with me, and you too will find my tribe. Let's go. Sincerely, Miko. So, yeah, that is how it begins. Miko Lawrence, the very first page of my book, Journeying. It begins with Miko telling her story. Now, all the pictures that are in my book are pictures that I have gathered from Google that were free for distribution. So I just carefully sorted through and picked out persons and beings that I felt would fit the character that I wanted to portray in my story. So, as you have heard, Miko has expressed a little bit about herself, her lifestyle, how she likes to be, how she perceives that others perceives her, and what she's about to do is basically be on her journey to find her tribe. That's what this book Journeys is all about. This particular first story is about Miko finding her tribe. That's her journey. There is another story that is within this book. It's actually 3 short stories, but the other story that is within this book is a love story and a mystery. I'm going to read to you an excerpt, the synopsis of each of the stories. How about that? And then remember, you can get my book on Amazon.com. You can do a search for books. You can put Queen Kenya in. You can put Journeys in. The book should pop up. The book is $20. Excuse me, on Amazon. If you want to get the book locally, you live in the metro Atlanta area, I do have some, as you can see. I have copies of them. We can meet somewhere. You can give me cash. We can exchange, and I'll autograph the book for you. Otherwise, you'll be ordering the book and receiving it without an autograph. But it's okay as long as you get the book. You'll have a piece of me. So let me go ahead and read you the synopsis of each one of these stories. I just read you the first intro of the tribe with Miko, but I'll still go ahead and read you the synopsis of the tribe. There's nothing like awakening within your soul and finding truth about you. Journey with Miko as she finds herself and her tribe soon after she's embraced polyamorous living. The journey begins within. The second story is called Les Amore. Amber is the main character. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied. Amber is the main character in Les Amore. And Amber only vacations and falls in love in her dreams until her best friend Lionel takes the wheel and ushers her into the time of her life. Will Amber explore or retreat to her shell? Find out in Les Marty. So that particular story is really about a young lady who's always dreaming about being in love, having fun, vacationing. She's pretty much a workaholic. She works all the time and she rarely, hardly ever has time for herself. Well, eventually, I won't tell the whole story, but she's finally having the opportunity to live a little because her friend is tired of seeing her not living. So she's encouraged to live a little. The whole basis of the story is to find out whether or not she's going to actually live a lot, as she's encouraged to do, or will she retreat back into her shell? That's the second story. The third story, the third short tale that's in my book of journeys, is entitled Twisted. Now, this is actually, I love them all. They're all my babies. Um, but I really like this one. This one is fun and interesting. It was fun for me to write because it's something different. I'm used to writing the love romantic stories, fantasy. I do that. Erotica, I do that. In my sleep, I do that. But this particular one has a little twist to it. That's why I called it Twisted, because it has some drama and some mystery in it. And I've written a little bit of that before, but this is some of my latter writing that has become better. So I'm excited about this particular story. It's called Twisted. The synopsis of Twisted is, before I tell you, the main character in this particular story focuses on a detective. It says Detective Moore, Seattle, Washington's finest, finds herself in the midst of an unsolved mystery. It seems to be a love quarrel gone bad. Will she discover who committed the crime, or will this become her first unsolved mystery? Now, I have been reading a lot, and I don't know if anyone's actually watching because I can't see that right now the way this is set up because I'm on my laptop and I usually don't do my lives on my laptop. That's for that reason, so I can actually see stuff that's going on. But anyways, so if you have commented and I did not respond, please forgive me. But because I don't see any comments, so I'm assuming that no one has chimed in or is commenting. Okay, but when you do, and if you should ever see this live, which I have decided to do, and I will do again, I am going to read more excerpts from my book. I'm not going to read y'all the whole book, but I just thought it would be fun if I did that. Now, what I will do, because this is the new one, I'll read a little bit from this one and I'll pull out my old books. And that's what I'll do for the people that's in self-quarantine. If you like story time for the adults, yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll make that a daily thing. Story time for adults. It's funny just thinking about it. But anyway, I'm going to dig back into my old books. Perhaps my first one, my first book, y'all. That book was the bomb. It's called Black Butterfly Emerged. And I have really grown so much in my writing skills since then when I wrote that book. And I was encouraged to begin writing my book by my cousin Ashton. I love you, Ashton. Ashton passed away in 2008. And he's been with me ever since. Like we're still together. We've never separated, never apart. Um, he totally encouraged me to write my first book. We were sitting talking one day and just laughing about all the crap that was going on in my life. And uh, my cousin was like, yo, you have so much drama. And he's like, drama in a good way. He's like, you have so much drama going on in your life. You could write a book about it, I bet. And people would love it. And I was like, yo, you're right. I probably do. Got so much. And it's like, no, probably. I know I do. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life. It would make a good movie. It would definitely make a good book. And I was like, I don't even know the first place to start, but I'm going to start. So he would be checking on me from time to time. He'd be like, you started writing that book? You still writing that book? Write the book. I wrote the book. I finished the book, and I was actually able to give my cousin a fresh off the press printed copy, his own copy of my book before he passed away. So I'm glad. And every time I think and I look back my life when I created my first book, Black Butterfly Emerged, I always remember that book. It'll always be special to me because it was my first, because it was encouraged by him, because he actually got to be a part of that, me putting it together and all that good stuff. What's up, D? So I was reading excerpts from my new book, Journeys, A Tale of Shorts by Queen Kenya. You can get one. Come through and copy you one. I got some on deck. $20. They good too. Okay, so you already missed the first introduction of Miko. So I'm going to go to the second story. I'm going to do the first page and the second story featured in this book. And I think the second story is Les Amore, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Okay, so here we go. Story time for adults. If y'all still tuned in. Y'all don't love this book. I'm telling y'all it's good. Okay. Les Amore. That's the title of this short story. But this is the first of this story. The first intro is called Walking into Destiny. As I approached the bodega, my heart fluttered, almost in expectancy of something spectacular. Then I saw her. She was beautiful. I felt myself slowing down to catch every glimpse of her being. There she stood, a full-figured, bodacious ebony sister. Her amber tresses of locks flowed freely past her shoulders. She walked with a confidence that only a queen could display. The scent of black woman oil and patchouli lingered from her essence. Her aura was as bright as her smile. All I could see was the prism of a rainbow. As I approached my destination, our eyes met and she smiled. I felt the coolness of her vibe and the softness of her flair. How could I engage with this beautiful soul? I couldn't afford to let this opportunity go by, or could I? Before I could answer myself, Before I could answer myself, I heard a soft, settled voice speak. Hello, how are you? Did she talk to me, or did my ears deceive me? There's no time for a cat and mouse game, so I immediately responded, Hi, I'm good, how are you? Before I knew it, we were engaged in a conversation that was pleasant and surreal all within one breath. Celeste was her name, meaning heavenly, precisely what her presence had proposed to me. I would never forget the moment I laid eyes on her, nor the time we spent together in our opening dialogue. However, the timing of our encounter would soon one day come for sure, for this meeting of bliss had only been in my dreams. I awakened in a cold sweat only to find my unforgettable encounter had been in another realm of life. Where is she? Has our time come to meet in this life? Is she quickly approaching? Or would this be like most of my other dreams and fade away after time. No, that could not possibly be our fate. I have come to know her and she knew me at that moment. We became one with the universe, an entity worth exploring. So I picked up my journal that I kept on the nightstand near my bed and began to write before the memories left my head. Every detail and fragrance, I would leave nothing up to mystery. If I must write this down over and over until this dream becomes a reality, I will. Shall I conjure up the encounter that surely has found me? Of course. Leaving nothing up to chance, I will become the main ingredient in my future destiny. We will meet. I know it. And this is the picture of the beautiful ebony sister that I decided to depict, Celeste. This is Celeste. And like I said, I copped all my pictures from Google, on the internet. They all free for distribution. I'm about to close this door because this girl making a whole bunch of noise out over here. Okay, so yeah, see that? I don't know. Let me get it up there like that, so you can see. She's beautiful, isn't she? She so fit the description for this chick. What I do a lot of times, or what I did for this particular book, was I found the pictures and then I let the pictures inspire me for what I was going to write. I like doing that sometimes. That can be a spark for creative writers to find pictures and then write stories to go with the pictures that they see. It's like, make it up. Use your imagination. Be creative. What do you see? Yeah. So that was one from Les Amore. That was the first page. That's the introduction of Celeste in a dream. And the person who was having the dream, well, that was Amber. Amber is the main character. So you get to know more about Amber the more you read the story. But I'm not going to keep reading it to you because I want y'all to buy it. So I do want you to buy it. I want you to order your own. And Amazon is not shutting down, but they is up. They will deliver. You can put an order in for it today and probably have it by tomorrow, especially if you live in the metro area. Okay. I'm going to read y'all this last excerpt from my book, A Tale of Shorts, Journeys by Queen Kenya. Okay. This last excerpt is from Twisted. So what I'm doing, essentially, is reading you the first intro to each short story that's in this book. I read to you Miko's introduction for The Tribe. I just finished with Amber and Celeste's introduction for Les Amore. And now this one is Twisted, which is the mystery detective story. The intro of Twisted begins with lovers' quarrel. Detective Moore on the scene. The dreariness of the city was starting to get to everyone, it seemed. She had just gotten a call to report to a homicide crime scene when she was on her way to the bistro downtown for a late evening coffee and Danish. But that would have to wait. The blue and red lights flashed relentlessly as Detective Moore pulled onto the scene, 233 Cherry Lane Avenue. The light, misty rain trickled steadily. Evening, Detective Moore, Seattle's finest, a scraggly voice from a rookie, Jenkins. A scraggly voice came from a rookie, Jenkins. He greeted Detective Moore as soon as she stepped onto the scene. She responded reluctantly. Jenkins, what do we have here? Before Jenkins could get a word out, His partner Spinelli was already spilling the tea. Well, it seems as though a love quarrel went bad, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Two bodies, male and female, no sign of forced entry. Spinelli's voice grew faint as Detective Moore walked through the door of the townhome. He continued as he caught up and followed more closely. He went on to inform Detective Moore. One of the neighbors called it in. She said there was a lot of arguing and then a loud noise. She thought it might have been nothing at first because the dog never barked. She figured if something was wrong, surely the dog would protect them. She said she waited a while to see if the Durants would come out of their home. Instead, she only saw a silhouette of a person leaving an hour or so later. She could not tell if it was a man or a woman. The night and the rain didn't help, and whoever it was seemed to vanish. She made the call to 911 shortly after that. The person disappeared. Detective Moore turned to Spinelli and beckoned for him to come closer. She spoke firmly. We're going to need a statement in writing. Did you get it? He raised one eyebrow and responded, Of course. She's prepared to be on standby for further questioning if needed. As Detective Moore looked across the home, she was astounded. Blood was all over the living room walls as if someone had splattered it with a bucket. Was this the victim's blood? The foul odor throughout the house suggested it wasn't. The furniture reeked of the smell as well. As she entered the hallway, she could see letters on the wall. The words "Blessed Death" adorned each one. She knew what it was, what it was meant to look like, but she could not jump to any conclusions. She had to allow the evidence to speak clearly. Detective Moore made her way to the bedroom. There they were, two bodies lying in the bed, fully clothed beside each other like they were peacefully asleep. The dog, a golden retriever, was at the foot of the bed, slaughtered. The couple wasn't brutally murdered like the dog, but they were dead. An autopsy will tell the cause of death. Detective Moore requested the officers to do a thorough sweep of the house, assisting forensics and collecting all evidence. There was a shell of some sort in the dining room area that was lit when Spinelli and Jenkins arrived. It sat in the center of the table with tarot cards and a skeleton bones surrounding it. At that point, she wondered if some voodoo priestess or witch doctor had come to settle a score. If so, why leave the place in such a disarray? This case was the weirdest Detective Moore had come across in a while. She was starting to feel a little eerie, so she exited the town home. Spinelli, can you get our psychic failure on this for me ASAP? I think she may be able to get us some answers quicker than forensics. Spinelli shook his head and responded, Sure thing, Detective Moore. I can see your wheels turning already. There's nothing like seeing a woman at work on a crime scene. Detective Moore smiled with irritation. She knew Spinelli meant well, but she was not in the mood for his corny, candid flirts. Just get it done, all right? Sure thing, we're on it. As she left the scene, she felt a great desire to call an old friend to help solve the case, but she opted to wait. She wanted this win all to herself. Once again, she prepared for a doozy. However, this crime takes the cake for now. She anticipated what would follow. So that is the beginning of Twisted. And this particular story is set in Seattle, Washington. That's a picture of the city of Seattle, Washington. It often, I can't get this in the camera the way I want it. It often looks dreary. Rains a lot there. People are often depressed in that city. But here you go. So yeah, that's Twisted. That's the beginning. I tried to give a little character with my reading so y'all can kind of like get the gist of who they are and what they be. But yeah, so that's it. And that's my time for today. I've been on for like 30 minutes. So story time for adults is not that long, see? Anyways, I really hope you guys can check out my books. And like I said, I am going to go ahead and do story time for adults. I'm trying to figure out. I think I might do a later time. It's not like I have to come on late when y'all get out from work. Well, some of y'all, because y'all was still working virtually. Um, but yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll do it like 7 p.m. I can't do it too late because I'll be going to bed early now. Shoot. Okay, so maybe it's like 7 or 8. I'll figure it out. Maybe 7 p.m. like Eastern Standard Time. But I'm going to start doing readings from my books. And I'm going to go way back to my first book, Black Butterfly Emerged. That's the one I'm going to be reading from going forth. So if you missed today's reading excerpt of Journeys by Queen Kenya, I am going to post this live so you'll be able to double back and watch it, and hopefully you can get enough from it to decide on your own that you actually want to purchase this beautiful book. And remember, it's only $20 and it's on Amazon.com. You can order it today. Amazon is not shutting down. It will get delivered to you, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so also, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area and you want to get it, I have some on deck. You can get one. We can meet somewhere and exchange your autographed book for $20 cash. So again, thank you for supporting the artist, Queen Kenya. Thank you for supporting the author, Queen Kenya. I used to go by Sister Kenya. I graduated to Queen, and I'm also an Empress. But yeah, I decided to start calling myself Queen because I needed to. It was just a transition of elevation. That's all it was. I'm still a sister, but now I'm a sister queen. So, anyways, that's my book, y'all. That's my time. I done been on for like 30 something minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I will be reposting this live, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, you will see it. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I appreciate you. Be safe during this time of self-quarantine. Spend time with your family and loved ones. Use your intelligence during this season of social distancing. Make sure you spend some time with self, get to know who you really are, and be okay with who you are. So when you come up out of this, you do not have to fake the funk for nobody. All you people who be faking, I don't like fake people. But all these people who be faking, living their life one way, knowing that ain't nothing like them, just for the sake of people. Now you get to sit with yourself and be real with yourself. And when you come out of this, you need to keep that same energy and be real with everybody else. Show them who you really are. Okay? All right. Peace, love, and light to you all. Blessings. Have a great, wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, Queen Kenya has literature for you. Drama, fantasy, erotica, fiction. She writes, she creates short stories, novels, inspirationals. You name it, she got it. I'm working on some sci-fi stuff. Gotta get there. I want to be very diverse as much as possible, but I also want to stay in my lane and do what I know and what I'm good at. So I look forward to hearing feedback from you all. I'm also going to be sharing some poetry too. I forgot to mention that. I wrote this poem yesterday. Oh my God, it was so good. I'm going to share it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Y'all, I'm going to be sharing my work with y'all. I'm going to be sharing my books and sharing my poetry. So look for my lives, because in my lives, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll be live on Facebook and I'll be live on my IG. On IG, I'm at Royal Queen Kenya on IG. For, no, that's my personal. IG page. Okay, you can follow me there. You're just gonna see pictures and quotes and stuff. Okay, but for my author page, it's Queen Kenya the author. That's my IG page, Queen Kenya the author, and that's where I'm going to be doing my lives for my readings. I'll probably do it on both though. Yeah, I'll do it on both. So it don't matter either way. At Royal Queen Kenya and at Queen Kenya the author. And for the grown and sexy folk who want to support my ventures, Empress Queen 55 IG. Empress Queen 55 IG. And you can check me out there as well. I am a woman of many occupations, I should say. I can do many different things. I have many gifts in many different areas. I am creative in many different ways. And so I like to explore that creativity and share it with the world. So, yeah, check me out. Peace, love, and light. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the excerpt, the story time for adults. Be looking forward to it coming more often near you. I will be announcing the times, so look for them. Okay, y'all enjoy your day. Be safe. Peace.